Let's turn from there to our other focus today, because a day after the Karnataka High Court upheld the hijab ban in educational campuses, students remained divided over the entire controversy. In Bengaluru, some students said they would remove the hijab while they enter the school and follow the court order. But in other parts, there was resentment with Muslim girl students seen wearing their hijab and entering the campus, but then being told to remove it when in their classrooms. Many refused to do so, and it resulted in a boycott. Pro-hijab graffiti was seen on the walls of a college compound in Vijayanagar district. Petitioners, meanwhile, have approached the Supreme Court challenging the Karnataka High Court order. What does all this mean? What does this hijab ban by the High Court now really mean? What is the way forward? Is there any possibility of bridging this divide? Joining me now is the Kerala Governor, Arif Mohammed Khan, known to have strong views on the hijab issue. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Governor. The Karnataka High Court judgment evoking contrarian responses, those who believe this is narrowing freedom of choice, those who believe that this ensures institutional rules and discipline is maintained. Is there a middle ground that you can see that can take this issue forward, put an end to it, find some way to achieve a solution?
You know, I do not know what is the ground for taking contrarian view, because as far as the citizens of India are concerned, the women of India are concerned, they have every freedom to choose whatever they want to wear. Here the question was very limited, and the limited question was whether in schools and colleges the authorities have the right to prescribe a dress code for their student. There are so many times it happens. There is some emergency, the children are going on tour somewhere. So the authorities always want, they want to recognize not by name but by the dress of the children that they belong to their own college.
Yes.
They are trying to widen the scope of the whole thing, as if the government of India or government of Karnataka is prescribing or denying people the right, women the right to choose their dress. In fact, there are even schools which allow hijab. They can very well, if they don't want to follow the code of a particular school, they can transfer to the other school.
You know,
where is the problem?
The problem, according to those who believe that yesterday's judgment is flawed, is that that judgment goes against Article 25 and the whole issue of religious freedom, that every individual has the right to explore his or her conscience, that the diversity of India should allow a girl student to wear a hijab if she chooses to. They believe that this judgment is going against the very basis of Article 25 of the Constitution and religious freedoms.
How it can be, when you talk of Article 25, the same thing was being claimed for triple divorce. There are other people who were claiming that Sati Pratha is sanctioned by the religion. Then there was another set of people who were saying that untouchability also enjoys sanction by the religion. What Mahatma Gandhi said? He said, I believe the Shastras do not sanction this. And if you insist they do, then to that extent I refuse to believe in those Shastras. We have always religion, the teaching of the religion are always time sensitive, period sensitive, location sensitive. I will quote a verse from the Holy Quran.
Sir,
which says, first it should be clear that it is not government of India's responsibility to apply the law of any religion. We will go by the dictates of our constitution, of our laws, but our constitution ensures freedom of religion. In fact, the word used is freedom of conscience, and our Supreme Court has laid down that if you claim protection under Article 25, then you must pass the test of essentiality. And in the case of Islam particularly, I am saying that it is not for you and me to decide what is essential. The religion itself has laid down it clearly. It is called Arkan-e Khamsa, the 5 pillars of faith, which are essential, which include oral affirmation, prayers, expression of devotion, fasting for a month, alms giving, charity, and for those who have the enough resources to travel to Makkah for Hajj. That is all that Islam says is essential.
But you know,
everything else is non-essential.
But this essentiality doctrine, which was used by the Karnataka High Court yesterday, is also contentious, some believe, because should the court decide what is essential to religion or not? We saw this even in the Sabrimala case. It becomes a very dangerous terrain that we are entering when the court decides, is wearing a hijab essential to Islam or not? Should that be left to religious scholars or should that be left to courts?
No, not at all. This is a time-tested principle. It has already. This is in force since last so many years. Otherwise, then you will have untouchability in this country. You will force women to commit sati. Then, if the essentiality test is not there, then triple divorce would have continued. Do you know the decline in the divorce rate in the Muslim community after 2019? It is more than 90%. It was absolutely, all Muslim countries had done away with it. In India, they were asking it in the name of religion. How it becomes a dangerous territory? No, the other example which I was giving was that I go with you to a 5-star hotel. There is a bar there. Does anybody prevent me from going to the bar and consume liquor? No, my conscience does not allow it. If you don't want to attend an educational institution which has a dress code, go to another institution. The freedom is there. But and I have Aligarh Muslim University possibly is the only university in the country which has a dress code. Otherwise, dress code is normally prescribed by colleges.
Schools.
Aligarh has a dress code. And you know that students belonging to every denomination have always been there. My old friend Rishi Pal Singh, who was a professor there and belongs to Aligarh only, he told me only few days back that the day his father brought him to apply for admission, while on their way back home, first they went to the shop of the tailor to order a sherwani, because in those days, without wearing a sherwani, you were not allowed to attend the classes. Nobody objected to that.
No, you're giving interesting examples, Mr. Khan, but many will say that the real problem is political. That this is not being fought in the realm of religion or courts, it's being fought in politics, because you've got two very sharp contending views and a hostility on the ground. Some who believe that Muslim girls must be allowed to wear hijab as per their choice versus those who want to enforce a ban on hijab and say that we will turn to the streets if necessary, or both groups turning to the street. Is it because politics has become polarized? You've got elections in Karnataka in 12 months' time, that it is impossible to have a sensible, rational discourse on whether it is compulsory or mandatory to have a particular dress code or not. Politics is the problem.
No, I totally agree with you that
yes,
in fact, it should be, whatever you are saying is absolutely right. Because this fear of which you mentioned earlier, this is not because of religious reasons. This is purely for political reasons. And we in India have paid the ultimate price. Our country was partitioned. Millions lost their lives. They lost their home and hearth. And we could not remove that fear. In fact, the Indian leadership had hoped that at least after partition, India can march towards progress and development in a peaceful manner without anybody raising this question of religion all the time. But unfortunately, that has not happened. That
Sir-
legacy of partition politics is still continues to the extent, I mean, it makes you so sad. And the victims are not those who raise these issues. The victims are innocent people. These girls who are being used as a pawn by the political masters in Karnataka. After 3 months, you send your team and you will find that they are pursuing their education. They don't want to give up their education. But for momentarily, they become influenced by this propaganda and they sort of allow themselves to be used by these people. This is a disease which has not gripped us recently.
Sir, but you know, ये ताली दो हाथ से बजती है. You will, the girls are caught between, as I said, two contending political views. Therefore, I ask you, do you believe that the Karnataka High Court judgment is enough to bury the issue? Will this now go up to the Supreme Court? And dare I say that the hijab issue will play up in a polarized Karnataka election atmosphere? Isn't that a fear?
I welcome the judgment of the High Court of Karnataka, and I have earlier said this was no controversy. This is a conspiracy to push back the Muslim women, young girls, into the four walls of their homes. The purpose was to reduce their career prospects. Now imagine a young Muslim woman, IPS officer, responsible for controlling the crimes in a district. Can she do it while wearing veil? In your own news channel, the Muslim girls who present news are there. Will your viewers accept somebody presenting news wearing hijab? Our women are, last 4 months, 3 months, I have attended 4 convocations. The gold medalists and award winners, the number of women was more than 72%. And in Veterinary University of Kerala, where my feeling was that you have to deal with animals, therefore here the number of women will be less. There was, out of 23 gold medalists, there was only 1 boy. These, our young women, including Muslim women, they are so talented, they are so capable, they are so competent. They can look after themselves, they can look after their families, and they can contribute to the society in building of the nation. We want to deprive the nation of their contribution. I am very happy that this conspiracy has come to a knot because of the Karnataka High Court decision. But I am under no illusion that the problem as such has ceased to exist. Know that mindset, whose hearts are full of hatred for the present government. Even earlier, 1986, the party to which they take great objection, they had only 2 members in the Lok Sabha. Congress had more than 400 members. Even then, I am not talking about the community, this particular leadership. Even then, religion was in danger. 46, Pandit Nehru's secularism today is acceptable. In 47, even Maulana Azad, they used to describe as Hindu Congress ka Musalman Rashtrapati. This Sikh mindset, you can't hope that one decision of the High Court will cure them. No, they will continue to create problems. Today is this problem, tomorrow they will find something. Their basic purpose is to destabilize the society, create walls of division, create problems for the government. That is their goal. Their goal is not religion.
Who creates these walls of division? Whether it is done by politicians of one party or the other, that's for viewers to decide. Hopefully this issue can be resolved now amicably as a result of the court judgment, but it will require perhaps greater clarity. To joining us now today, thanks very much, Mr. Arif Mohammed Khan, with our views that are contentious. but are always interesting to listen to.